Ron Paul, the Republican presidential candidate, made a stop at the University of Idaho today on his campaign tour in hopes of reaching out to the community and sharing his views with them, and the turnout was great. Paul covered many controversial topics, such as the Patriot Act, foreign policies, and entitlement funds. But one thing that rang through the whole speech was freedom, and his supporters loved it.
But now is the time that we have to make a decision. And the decision has to be, is it going to be more government or is it going to be more freedom? I know where I'm going.
Ron Paul is the only candidate that really combines respect for property rights and respect for civil liberties. He's not just on the Republican side, he's not just on the Democrat side, he's consistently pro-freedom across the board.
Owners understood it. Freedom is yours. Freedom is your life. Freedom is the right to your liberty, and it ought to be the right to keep the fruits of all your labors. And this would solve so many problems.
I support any presidential candidate who upholds the standards of the Constitution and wants to allow freedom of choice.
Supporters of all ages came to the rally at the university. But with the rally being held by the Ron Paul for Youth group, there is no denying what demographic this campaign stop was aimed at.
I feel that his campaign could be aiming more towards the younger generation. Obama did that in his campaign, and that really worked for him. I feel like a lot of Ron Paul's policies and ideas are something that would appeal to my generation, a generation who are struggling with the debt of our parents and their parents.
I think that Dr. Paul's message applies to every generation. And I think that the young people are realizing that we're going to be the ones to pay for the spending that's going on right now, and so it applies to us more than anybody else.
Ron Paul has always had a good rapport with young people because they listen to what their professors have to say, they listen to what their teachers told them in high school, and then they go read the Constitution themselves, and they realize, well, wait a minute, all of this is still fresh in their minds. And so when they hear someone actually speaking what the Constitution says, what our founding fathers said, what our founding fathers intended, then absolutely he's going to find gold here. And I think that was proven tonight.
The ballroom was packed full at 1,000, and hundreds more waited and listened from outside the room. The only complaint supporters had was that the venue wasn't big enough for Dr. Paul.
I think it went really well. I wish they would have had a larger venue for him because I talked to a lot of people that weren't able to get in here, and it's upsetting because this is the political process. Everybody should be able to get involved, and it should be in a venue where everybody can get involved.
Ellis, like many supporters in attendance, believes that Paul is the clear choice for the Republican nomination.
I feel like Ron Paul should be the next candidate for the Republican Party for the 2012 election to go up against Obama. I feel like Romney and Santorum lack the political morals that Ron Paul has, and not only that, their will to get things done.
Other supporters said that this campaign is more about the message that Ron Paul is giving to our generation than about winning the race.
This is a dynamic shift in American politics. This is the first time that Ron Paul, when running for president, has really set a fire under people's britches.
I think it really is about reaching out to college kids, I get to call them kids now, as opposed to trying to really get the nomination. The impact he's going to have is way bigger than any one election.
Paul stayed to shake hands and sign autographs, and the crowd was sure to keep him busy. He may have swayed some voters, or he may have made some second guess. But one thing's for sure, Ron Paul got to share his views with the Northern Idaho community. For UIRDonot.com, I'm Charles Crowley.